The next year will be another test of character. We see worrisome divergences between member states what vaccination rates are concerned. So we need to keep up the momentum. And Europe is ready. We have 1.8 billion additional doses secured. This is enough for us and our neighborhood when booster shots are needed. So let's do everything possible that this does not turn into a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
All right, let's get some analysis on this. Denis MacShane is a former UK Minister for Europe, and he joins us now live from London. Denis, welcome to the show. You know, these annual speeches are kind of like a litmus test. They're a good reference point to see if they've delivered. Did von der Leyen deliver on last year's promises, you think?
I think so, to the extent, if you remember at the beginning of the year, there was a huge and rather silly row between England and the rest and the European Union about vaccinations, you know, who got how many AstraZeneca doses, who got how many Pfizer doses. Well, thank goodness that's over. Britain's vaccinated very well, and Europe has vaccinated about 70% of its population, but also sent as many vaccines to Africa as it is using inside Europe. So that's a good thing. On the whole, it's not been that bad a year given the impact of the pandemic. Her speech, though, was full of new ideas. She wants a European chips law. That's not fish and chips. That's to build semiconductors and build up European semiconductor strength. She's talking about a European defence union. Now, that's slightly old stuff. She kept talking about the soul of Europe. She used the word soul 10 times in her speech, as if Europe needs to have some kind of a soul. And a real kicker that would worry people in Warsaw and Budapest is to pass a European media freedom law to defend press freedom. And as we know, in both Warsaw, in Hungary and in Poland, that's a very serious issue.
Okay, so you like what she said about the vaccine. Let's switch gears a bit. Let's talk about climate change. Obviously, this is a very popular talk, around the world. She said that the EU would give an additional 4 billion euros through 2027. I mean, if my math works out correctly, that's about just over 600 million euros a year extra. I mean, isn't that pretty much chump change when you sort of consider that we're not meeting our targets, we're billions of dollars behind on its promise to deliver?
Absolutely. But of course, what she's doing is throwing down the gauntlet to the United States and above all China, because this is a message that Europe is taking action. And I think most people would agree that an awful lot of the climate change measures we're now seeing causing huge controversy and rows when cars are sort of almost removed from the streets of Paris and bits of London. That's not happening elsewhere in the world. And there is concrete third world aid now saying it has to be used on climate change initiatives. So this is a starter for COP26. That's a big conference in Glasgow in November to particularly, as I say, the giant polluting nations, the United States, always a polluting nation for 100 years, and now China, which is just pumping CO2 into the air and heating up the planet.
All right, Denis MacShane, it's a pleasure having you on. Thank you very much. I do appreciate your analysis.